Hello everyone, I wanted to show you a really cool free delay plugin. Now, I've only spent a week with this. It's a free delay plugin. I think what I'm using for at the moment more is atmospheric sort of effects, that sort of thing. What I'm also thinking, which I haven't tried yet, is with a cool reverb, something like Valhalla, a free reverb. And we looked at this before in another video. You could get some really cool effects going, I think. Anyway, sorry. It's by Igorsky, the address in the description. They also do a reverb themselves, which I've downloaded, so that could be quite an interesting thing as well. The way we install it, I won't ramble on too much about installation, but you get the VST file and the VST3 file. Now, depending on what system you're using and what computer or DAW, if it has VST, you basically, VST3 should I say, you can copy this file and then chuck it in your VST3 folder, wherever that might be on your drive. Otherwise, you've got your 64-bit DLL file, if I can say it. Paste that into your effects plugins folder. But I had a slight problem where I had to go to Plugin Manager. I pressed the rescan. If you have trouble in whatever DAW you're using, do give me a shout and I'll try and see if I can help you out with that. So, just to demonstrate this, I thought, well, what can I put into Cubase? And all I used was a D, so I did a D minor, and I just did the root and the third, just two strings simultaneously, and I ended up with this. Look, I didn't even put it in time particularly, but this is how the plugin looks. We've got the time of the delay, the amount of feedback, and the mix. This is what really interested me, this freeze, because I'm thinking atmospheric effects, that kind of thing is going to be cool for that. So let me just turn up the time and stuff. So we got, change the gain structure of that slightly as well. What you would have in a basic delay, time, any delay plugin, should I say, feedback, the amount it lasts, and the mix between wet and dry. It's this freeze function where you've got this, and it grabs the delay and seems to keep it going, which is great, really cool. Okay. Pitch shifting and stuff, I think this could be more. Can you see here with the scales and stuff? It seems to be, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking horror, that kind of thing. So that could be cool for that. But at the moment, what I wanted to show you is this freeze function. This, the choir section adds some sort of oscillation or something that's modulating it a bit, so you can have it, you can sync it to your DAW and get more of a. We've got some sort of distortion or decimator. I expect just adding just a bit of grit to the sound. Oh yeah. And then we've got cutoffs of our filters. We can use your cutoff filters as you would with any plugin, and the resonance of the filter. But I've kind of got a delay I liked, processing, and I just reversed this. So we had this kind of ramping up. And can you imagine that with a load of reverb as well? I won't bore you with that at the moment, but a load of reverb in that as well. When I see people using Cubase a lot, one of the plugins that gets ignored a fair bit, which I use a lot, is under modulation, the chopper effect. And if I go, I quite like quite a hard cut on it. Set it something like an eighth note, so you've got 8 of them per bar. Perhaps bring the mix down a bit for this. And we'll end up with something like this. Now, if I do render in place with this, let me just remove this track a minute. So I've got my audio. I'm going to go edit, render in place. I'll just show you my settings. I've got beats and bars set. I've got the reverb tail set to 4 bars. So basically, it's going to render this audio track here down onto another track, but it'll give me a 4-bar tail. So you'll be able to see how the delay is evolving, so to speak. So let's do that. Render in place. So edit, render in place, current settings, mute the original file. And now we've got this cool effect. Might even use just that section of it. You can actually choose the section you wanted to use. Let me just bring that up on clip gain. And I think you can then create your own effects really quickly. So what I would do with that now, if I added reverb on it, I think it needs a bit of reverb in there as well to make it really airy. And then I'd probably do file export and export it to my audio effects. It's in D minor, so I might mark it as D minor. But then whenever I'm doing a project in the future and I want kind of like maybe in a bridge or something, like a cool little bit of effect, you could just drag it in, even choose a different section for it. So, you know, it could be quite subtle. It's called Rechoir, and it's by Igorski, and I will put that in the description. It looks like they do a lot of stuff, so I'm gonna do a bit of experimentation on that. Good luck.